CS greetings, CS goers. It is I Extremes, and with me is PaCmAn, and yeah, he is the one, the only, well, the 10,154th PaCmAn.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
I'm well, and you?
Yeah, pretty cool, man. It's
That's good.
great to be sitting here this early on a Sunday after staying up late watching IEM Oakland. I think we've both wrecked ourselves with this arrangement.
Definitely. Not ideal for a Sunday.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, just for the viewers, the video is a little bit laggy, so I do apologize if you notice a bit of that. But PaCmAn's the one here is important, so if I'm lagging out, it's cool. And maybe I'll do some like hand movements to make it worse, 'cause it's just like more noticeable, right? But
Yeah.
but yeah, just
Oh man.
apologies for that. Hopefully we fix it for the next one. But we're running out of time a little bit. In the meantime, though, let me just give people a quick introduction to who you are. In case you guys don't know, PaCmAn's actually a full-time South African CSGO streamer. He also streams some other games, PUBG and all sorts of things. Probably one of the more successful guys. I mean, there are a couple guys who maybe have more subscribers, but there isn't a CS-focused streamer with as much popularity as Pac. And what's interesting about it is Pac's approach to it has been on YouTube rather than Twitch, so it makes him one of the biggest streamers on YouTube just in general, it seems, because it's always kind of there on the front page if you're interested in gaming. So, I mean, you get a lot of new subscribers every day, it seems. You get quite a lot of viewer engagement. I mean, often see 75, 100 people watching at any given time, which in a lot of ways is more than what, the amounts of people that watch actually like pro games in South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube's been really good. I did start on Twitch though. Um, Last year I started on Twitch. Didn't have anywhere near to the same results as what I currently do on YouTube. So YouTube doing its whole uh, advertising, under the recommended
Mm.
tab for random people that have never watched my stream. It works. It works miracles. So yeah, YouTube's been really good, eh?
Well, that's actually an interesting discussion because often I've been asked when I've like streamed stuff, why am I on YouTube and not on Twitch? And for me, the choice is pretty easy because it's a local server, so it makes it
Yeah,
a lot easier to get high quality content out there. Whereas, I mean, you do Twitch, and sometimes, I mean, you'd be fine streaming it, but the people watching it can't watch it in 720, 60 FPS because of the peering issues with the server in Germany. So, like,
yeah, very true.
I think that makes the difference. I mean, monetizing is probably a lot harder on YouTube though than on Twitch, right?
Yeah, it is. But I've I've got a freaking like a little contract with Monster Cats. I pay them monthly to listen to their music, so it's better than the average no copyrighted songs or whatever you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So I can still monetize my videos with their music, but it's not ideal.
Yeah, the
It's not
robot
ideal.
death music is
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
actually at the Medal State Join the Legion Dota event yesterday. At the time of recording this video, and I mean, I know they were using Monster Cat as well. And it's just like, it's the sound of robots either having sex or dying.
Wow, okay.
I mean, it's it's crazy music, man. It's just crazy music.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
as you
yeah,
say, at least it doesn't get your videos taken down because the YouTube algorithms are really, really aggressive. Like,
oh,
10 seconds
yeah.
of the wrong thing, you could even get banned if it's important enough.
Yeah, I mean, a viewer asked me to watch one of their videos, and I was like, sure, let me go for it. Watch the video on stream, and then later on realized that that took my video down because he had a copyrighted song in it.
Oh my.
Like I was like, man, come on, dude. So it is a feels bad man moment.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, for guys who maybe don't know, you were also briefly a pro player as well. So I mean, there's also that. So I mean, we'll talk about you from that point of view as well for the people who maybe don't know who PaCmAn was, is, and will be. But um,
All right.
let's start at the beginning for you. The age old generic question of how did you get your start in gaming?
My start in gaming. I don't actually remember what got me into gaming. Um, but I think it was my dad. Looking back, the only thing I remember from gaming is having LAN parties with my dad. As weird as that is, I used to go to him on the weekends, and he used to invite his buddies over, and we'd spend the whole Saturday playing games till early hours of the morning. And I was like, I think like 9 or something, you know. That's what I think got me into streaming. Into gaming. My dad.
What game was it that you mostly played?
We played Call of Duty 1. I think it was 2 as well. And then I think there was another game. Oh, Counter-Strike.
Hmm.
But then Counter-Strike had these extra mod games. There was one called
Yes,
The Specialist where you could like slow-mo jump sideways and shoot like Gil Barrett. Like it was insane.
I remember that actually. It was like a Matrix themed kind of.
Yes, yes, you
Yeah.
could do crazy things. Yeah. And the recoil and weapons were absolutely ridiculous as well.
Yeah, I mean that was what was nice about all like the original Counter Strike is the amount of mods and things that there were for it. So I mean I remember playing like a paintball mod as well, which was a lot of fun, and uh like World War II theme stuff and all sorts of things. Like it feels like in PC gaming that's sort of gone away a little bit. There are still mods and things, but it's for like the super dedicated as opposed to, that kind of thing where everybody goes to a LAN party and swaps these things and then like everybody
Yeah.
plays it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, that's back in the days of bad internet. Now, thankfully, internet is a little bit better for some of
Yeah.
us. Some
Yeah.
people are not there yet. So, I mean, you had that start in gaming. Early on in getting into CS. I mean, you started I think with WRG Academy. Like, how long had you been playing? CS in general by the time you did that?
I think it was last year, so I would say I started 2 years before that. Um, wasn't ever really in a team, loved the game, wanted to get competitive, didn't really have the internet for it. Like I said earlier, we had wireless internet for
Oi,
like,
that is the
yeah,
worst,
it's yeah.
guys. Sorry,
So
my ping is high. It's raining.
yeah, yeah. There's a little breeze outside, like yeah. So I didn't have much experience except, pug hero, running around doing my own thing in matches. And Dean was actually one that asked me if I wanted to join WRG Academy, that is.
That's Casimir for the guys who
Yeah,
who,
sorry.
who maybe don't know. I mean, if you guys want to check out as well, we did an episode of CS:GO Deeper with Casimir this past week. So it'll probably be the newest episode after on my playlist after this comes out if you want to see what Casimir is all about. But I mean, that was WOG Academy, so that was last year. You guys were kind of the second team to the main White Rabbit Gaming team. I
Yeah.
mean, they had some success, they had some failures, but they didn't really like win anything. I mean, were you guys sort of as the academy team like in a position thinking, okay, well, if we do really well, maybe a couple of us will break into the main team? Was that the goal at the time?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to, we wanted to push as hard as we could. We wanted to, be successful and then hopefully, someday take that main spot in WRG. I think that's what any academy team's like, hopes are. That's what they push for. Um, but yeah, we didn't really. We made it to. We went through a lot of roster changes throughout the year. A lot of things happened. And then we made it to DGC and
How'd that
played
go?
horribly.
Ask a
um,
rhetorical question.
yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it was a good experience for me. It was my first ever LAN, but yeah, I mean, competitively, didn't do very well
Yeah, I
at all.
recall like seeing the results from you guys last year. I mean, it was very sort of middling results, mostly against the top teams. You guys failed, whereas you were fairly competitive against the guys and outside the sort of top 15 kind of thing. But I mean, from there, if you look at that sort of group of players, I mean, Casimir's gone on to be in the main WRG team after being with F3 for a bit. He was, I think, with what was the other team? I mean, you were with him in Pulse as well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I mean, he's now gone on to play with Zio, which I think is like quite a thing as a young player to suddenly be in a team playing with one of the legends of the game in South Africa. It's quite a progression. I mean,
definitely, definitely.
the other teammates that you had at the time, what did those guys gone on to do?
Sure, that's a good question. Menti was with us at that point. He had to carry on his studies. He gave up competitive gaming. Toothpick moved on, I think, to another team as well. We had QQ. I think he just carried on with real life, you know.
Yeah, I've seen
Everyone
him
kind
playing
of went
pugs
their
every
own
now
way.
and then, but
Yeah,
haven't seen.
everyone just kind of. Zav and I think, are the only ones that stayed. Yeah, Zav and I are the only ones that stayed together.
Oh, and
Um,
is he now? Is he with what is it? Sinister Five, or am I wrong on that one?
that's Pex.
Oh, it's
Pex,
Pex and oh yes, you're
yeah,
right. I actually saw
Pex
Pex
moved over.
yesterday. Why am I getting this confused?
Yeah. Zav's looking for a team. He's just kind of chilling right now.
Okay, well there's the advertisement. If you guys need a decent player, winner of the Middle State Maverick Challenge, Zev is available, guys.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy, really good player as well. So I'd highly recommend him.
So I mean, for you had that focus as a competitive player. I mean, you were streaming at the same time, right?
Yes, yes. During WG, I told Dean, TKZ, or Casimir, from the get-go, I prioritize my stream. That's what I want to achieve someday. So we originally started, I started streaming the games. I kind of wanted to have a whole story behind it because I was new to competitive CS:GO. I kind of wanted to stream it all, so there was like where we are now, competing our actual matches, and then where we could be someday, and there was like a whole story of how we progressed as a team and so on. But the further we got, the more we realized that you can't really stream your games,
Yeah, there will be
because
some protest from the other team, right? And the rules.
yeah, yeah. So
It's
yeah, I
it's a
mean,
it's a nice idea. I mean, I do like the documenting kind of your progression. Like I know Days was trying to do that with GX, for he played 10 matches and then decided he's not going to continue as a pro player. But I mean, he had the exact same idea. He was streaming his matches in Mountain Dew League and that sort of thing. So I get it. It's
yeah.
it's actually a very very cool thing. And do you think maybe your sort of struggles as a competitive player was part of your appeal at the time? Like people going like, hey, support the underdog. We want to see this dude succeed.
Uh, I have no idea. I actually don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that was a bit left field there, but hey, I mean, if any of you guys are watching have been supporting Pac from the beginning, was that part of his appeal, or was it just the sparkling personality? Because I mean, his personality is pretty sparkling, guys. So,
Thank you, thank you.
so I mean, you were playing competitively, you were streaming as well. I mean, that must be a tough balance, right?
It definitely is because you're spending way too much time playing a game like CS:GO. If you have a bad day, you get tilted, and then you got to play it for another 8 to 8 hours. Like it's really rough. But I feel like, yeah, I got told the other day that someone thought that my stream and my competitive gaming got in the way. But I always
Of
looked
each
at it the other
other, or what?
way. Yes, yes. I looked at it the other way. I was like, because I can stream, I can spend more time in the game and learn more, so my competitive side will grow as well. So I haven't thought about it enough to actually like be like it did actually hinder my growth as a competitive player, or competitive did hinder my growth as a streamer. I don't actually know.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, if you look at a guy like Shroud, for instance, one of the very biggest streamers in the world, he's an incredible player, but in Cloud9 for a very long time, he was obviously the worst player, aside from nothing. So you know,
Yeah.
it probably does take a toll, I would imagine, because like if I look at myself as a player, if I'm getting tilted, I just won't play for a day, like calm down and, recenter, go back to the game feeling a little bit, where it feels a little bit fresh and new, as opposed to, where you're trying to grind it out and it just gets, you dig your hole deeper,
Yeah.
that does happen. So I can imagine that would be a really difficult thing when you've played a match and you're going to stream for another 5 hours after the match, and you just got to keep playing, and you're like feeling like your aim is off and you're getting tilted by everything, and you just got to grind through it. I mean, that takes some perseverance.
It definitely does. I mean, streaming in general takes a lot of perseverance. Let's be honest, it's a very difficult industry to get into.
Yeah, I used to think a year ago, like I don't know why guys in South Africa are trying to stream because it just doesn't feel like there's the audience for it. And I looked at guys who were doing it. I'm like, I commend you guys for doing it, but
But
geez, I mean, you guys are really taking the hard road, yeah. And I mean, you look at an international stage, it's really, really hard to succeed as a streamer because everybody's got internet and a webcam, you know. So
yeah.
it's a difficult thing. So I would take my hat off to you, except that the headphones are going to be an issue. So, but I metaphorically doff my hat to you for actually succeeding at this because I mean it's unforgiving. I know from casting games, like people will jump into chat and have a go at you about things and be really personal and you've got to keep a good face on it. I mean you're on camera, you have to keep composed. You got to keep being nice. I mean that must be really hard.
Um, it was in the beginning, especially when you don't see results and people are kind of right about certain things that they say. It's just like taking a knife and stabbing it into your heart because you're so passionate about this. It's what you want to do. Um, but over time, you kind of just learn to ignore them. Like,
Hmm.
you're doing what you love. If it doesn't plan out, at least you tried. What's that guy behind his computer screen doing? Bashing on a random person. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just, I mean, I had to deal with it. Yes, was it yesterday or the day before? I had to deal with a bunch of trolls that came to chat that started mocking me and saying that, oh, I'm a streamer because I got nothing else to do in life. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm streaming, dude. What's better? So yeah, you just learn to kind of ignore it and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, that's been my approach as well. Like generally, if you're one of the more prominent figures, if you the metaphorical tallest tree in the forest, you stick out, so people will take a shot at you. That's just how it's gonna be. But
Definitely, definitely.
how you deal with it is kind of. I mean, I honestly like I used to be terrible, man. Like I'd fight with people in chat. I'm like, fuck you, buddy. Like while I'm busy casting, it's just like because I was a combative person. So like it's for me, it's been a personal growth thing to actually move away from that. I mean, and I must say, like when I first watched you as well, like your way of dealing with things, I honestly learned a little bit from how to deal with people watching your positive approach. Because I mean, I'm not always a positive person. I mean, it might seem like it on broadcasts and whatever, but sometimes if people are having a go at you, it's difficult to deal with it. And like the fact that you managed to stay so cheerful through those sorts of things, I mean, it definitely. I think you're the right sort of personality type for something like this. I don't think everybody is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I mean, you talked about people giving you a hard time, and I mean, you focused your time onto streaming. I mean, despite the issues that you had when you started out, did you know right from the beginning that you wanted to be a full-time streamer?
Alrighty, so yes, 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 yes. I was playing a bunch of games one day with friends, and the one guy was like, "Go check out this guy. He's playing this." We were playing Warzy at the time, now known as Infestation, and he was like, "Have you seen this? Have you seen this? The streamer?" And I was like, "What is a streamer?" And he kind of sent us a link to Twitch, and it was Summit 1G. And I was like, what is this? Who streams games and gets paid? Like, what is this? It was so new to me, so different. And the more I watched him, the more I was like, I want to do this. It kind of faded away at some point, but then I had the opportunity to kind of like, all right, so I can actually do this thing now. Do I really want to stream? Yes. So let's take the chance. And starting out, I was like, I would love to do this for the rest of my life. Like this is absolutely amazing. Talking to new people all the time, like there's nothing better. There's nothing better. And the people you meet along the journey with you as well is it's really awesome.
That's cool. Would you recommend to people to try streaming? I mean, I know it's not easy, so it's like you love it, but do you think most people would love it if they try to do it?
You got to have a lot of perseverance. I was explaining to my stream yesterday. When it comes to streaming, you got to stream for the love of streaming, to sharing your gameplay with other people, Because if you're doing it because you saw this stream over there get $1,000 donation and you think it's easy cash, you are completely wrong. I mean, it requires so much. I don't even know. I think it's like anything in life, you got to persevere, you got to push through. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have streams where there's no one watching for days on end, and then you're going to
Yep.
have a stream where there are 20 plus people watching, and you're like, yes, it's getting there, and the next day there's no one again. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely something that you got to love. You got to love sharing your gameplay and talking to people, and not the results of doing that. If that makes sense. Obviously at some point you can be like, all right, now we can go for goals, we can go for objectives. Obviously you need to want growth within your community that you form, but your initial objective needs to be that you want to share your gaming with people and not easy cash. Because it's not.
No,
and
I
yeah.
imagine it isn't. Sorry, you were gonna say?
Yeah. I feel like that's also a very big thing that people think, if they put their stream on, they're gonna get donations, easy cash, life's gonna be easy and all that. I feel like that's a very
Nope.
yeah. A lot of people think that way, so it's nothing like that at all.
So, I mean, loving streaming, I mean, you loved it right from the very beginning, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I pushed through on a 3 meg upload line.
Jeez.
Like I really pushed to do what I wanted to do. So yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about the fact that I want to do this. I want to keep going at this as a career. I want to achieve big things with it. I started last year, and I had nowhere near to the amount of success I've had in the last, say, month. In the whole entire last year. Like, it was ridiculous, or it is ridiculous. Sorry. So yeah, like, definitely what I want to do.
That's
I
always
got big plans.
that thing in when somebody's successful and people look and go like, where did this guy come from? He's just suddenly exploded onto the scene, and they don't see the 18 months of grind to know people that you were doing. So it's
It-
I think for a lot of people, they might have just heard about you and gone like, "Who's this PaCmAn guy? And wow, he's so good." But if they were to go back look at a VOD from a year and a half ago, it'd probably be like, "Oh my word, this is awful."
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely it's you learn as you go. There's a lot of things that I've learned throughout my experiences with the stream, and it's like, I don't know. There are so many things that you don't think are a thing, but they're an actual thing when it comes to streaming. So yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's been really good.
can you give us some examples there?
Okay, so I took an approach to streaming last year of, I need to get my audience out. I need to get people to know my stream. So with that, I invested a lot into giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Giveaways, in my opinion, do not work. What you're doing is throwing your money into a trash can, and some guys walking past and being like, "Oh, nice," and,
Oh, I'll take
walking off
that.
with it. Like, that's what it was. People that actually watched me never got anything out of it because of the newcomers. It was very like, it was horrible. It was horrible. And obviously you learn from those things. I don't do giveaways anymore on my stream unless I hit a milestone, because it is worthy of celebrating. It's worthy of giving back to your audience in a way that's, thank you guys. You know what I mean?
The dedicated viewers.
Yeah, and I don't. Okay, the previous milestone I had two different giveaways. One for the people that were there at the point of hitting a goal, and then I had another one that was a bit sellout, but I didn't go full out with wanting crazy amount of subscribers, because I don't feel like it's right. Those people that subscribe for those things don't generally stay at all. So that was a very, very big thing that I learned. But for some people it works and others it doesn't. So yeah.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on the giveaway thing. You see a lot of guys trying that, and it's I don't think it's sustainable in the long term. As you say, guys will pop in for that, hit the subscribe button, and never watch you again. They might even unsubscribe after the giveaway is over or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also found it. I mean, I haven't done a ton of giveaways. I mean, I don't generally stream that much. I'm more casting and doing live shows and things like that. But it's it definitely doesn't really make a difference to how many people will watch you or anything like that. From my experience, so I think there's maybe a little advice for a new streamer. Yeah, keep your knife, buddy.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. Yeah, it's nice to do every now and then, but don't surround your stream with that because you're gonna need to, make a lot of money on the side if you want to keep want to keep giving things away because you're gonna have a community that's surrounded by giveaways and every day you're gonna come on stream, people are gonna be like, so what you giving away today? Where's the giveaway? Are you giving a knife? You know what I mean? And it's not a
Yeah.
place that you really want to be. You don't want people to be like, when's the giveaway happening? What are you giving away? Because then they're not there for you. They're there for your free skins. And I don't feel like, I mean, people obviously they don't mind that, but for me personally, I like to engage with my audience and get to know them a little bit, and not just surround around something completely other than myself.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So, I mean, you're doing this full time now. You have for a little while. When did it become a full time thing for you?
So last year I had the opportunity. I had someone that actually invested into my life heavily, got me a computer to stream full time, paid for the internet, and I had no expenses. All I had to do was stream.
Wow.
Someone kind of backed me all the way. Um, and my parents were like 6 months, and I was like, yeah, yeah, it kind of just time went by so quickly. So I started last year, 25th of January, full time, right off the bat, just went for it. And last year was crazy. Like I did 10 to 12 hour streams at least a day. Like it was long, long days, many hours invested. So I really wanted to achieve it. Many 24-hour streams, many ridiculous giveaways, many things that I thought would help the stream grow, but in the end didn't. Um, so last year, full time, because someone backed me. Did I make enough out of it to? I struggled with the word full time because
Mm-hmm.
people would be like, so you're making you're getting an income from it, which I never really did. So I think I started streaming full time. Yes. Did I make a salary? No. Did I have an income to sustain my giveaways? No. You know what I mean? Like I I don't think full time is the right word, but it is because I don't know.
Mm.
It's weird. I can say though that this year, from around June, July, I can say that at that point I wasn't. No, I was. At that point, streaming full time would be more accurate because I was earning something, I was getting something out of it. There
Mm-hmm.
was so much growth in it. There was so much to look forward to. So I'm in a really good place right now with regards to stream, and I can be like, yes, I'm a full time streamer. People can ask, do you get income? And I'll be like, hell yeah. Like it feels good to be able to be confident now with saying that I'm a
Mm.
full time streamer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's been a hard road to actually being in the position that you're making some money. You mentioned your parents. So did they back you in this thing in the beginning?
No. Gaming was always kind of frowned upon. It was, do your school, get good grades. That's what every parent wants. It's the right thing to do. You want good grades for your kids. They need good grades in order to achieve anything nowadays. Well, mostly to get anywhere in life nowadays, because everything requires you to study and get a degree, and
Well,
you know what I
in the
mean.
traditional job world, yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of what they wanted. I mean, to go back, I wasn't allowed to play games in the week, so they
Uh-huh.
were very, very, very strict on it. And then I played too much games on the weekend, and but the results of that wasn't allowed to play games in the week. Anyway, so the whole streaming thing, no. I mean, they said I could take a gap year. They weren't like, if you do this, you cut out from the family. They didn't do anything like that. I was still seeing them. We're still good terms. They just didn't back me the way they are now. I've been doing this for a very long time, and this year, being in certain competitions competitively and being going to my parents and being like, "Yo, look at this ad, look at this little trailer, look at we playing games tonight. It's being live streamed. It's the casters, they kind of slowly got involved." And they started watching my games, and they kind of started like understanding what this whole thing was about. Metal State Maverick Challenge. They
Mm-hmm.
flew down to Joburg for the day
Oh
to
wow.
watch my game, and then they flew back. And I was just like, I was so taken back by this because it's such a big step, from kind of being on your own and then someone supporting you, and then not having the backing really from your family is quite difficult.
Yeah.
And this year, having the backing of parents, I think, has been a really big part of being as successful as I have been, because all areas of my life are like really, really good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
So you
So
you got that emotional base to work from where everything is actually stable, you're being supported. Makes a
yeah,
difference.
definitely, definitely. I mean, my mom watches my stream almost every day. Like,
So you got to watch what you say then, right?
yeah. I mean, we have the whole hashtag Christian channel going. So we can monetize our videos anyway, so it kind of works out.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad to hear that they started backing you. And I mean, you mentioned the Maverick Challenge. That's kind of been the peak of your competitive career so far, winning that versus what was it, Pixel Hunters? Yes.
Yes, that is
Um,
correct.
and you had a pretty good game in that final. I recall Casimir kind of like popping heads everywhere. You had a really good game as well. You guys were the standout players in that game. I was there, actually, but
Yeah.
we didn't talk though because I was talking to Pex and Casimir. But you know, I think a lot of people would have looked at it and gone like, "Wow, PaCmAn's like achieving something as a pro player, and he's achieving something as a streamer." That probably be those sorts of people who maybe haven't looked at what you've done in the recent past probably be a little bit surprised to find out you're not actually playing in a team anymore.
I mean, people were surprised, but they also understood. Like saying that there wasn't enough time in the day. People weren't like, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that" or anything. No one. I don't think anyone's actually said that. People have
Mm.
asked me why, and then I've told them, and they've been like, "That's awesome." You know what I mean? I haven't had any negative feedback regarding that. And the Maverick Challenge was the peak of my career as a competitive CS:GO player. Um, which is epic. I mean, I'm so glad that I can say that I've won a tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's cool.
it was incredible. Other than that though, competitively hasn't gone very well. Competitive CS for me hasn't gone very well.
And are
Yeah.
there any thoughts of returning to it at some point in the future?
Watching I Am Oakland last night, I was like, I gotta get back into this, but I don't think so. As much as I love the game, as much as I love to compete, I would much rather have a successful stream and keep pushing that, because if you want to be successful in the competitive scene, you got to put a lot of time into a team and a lot of effort, and
And
there
time.
isn't enough time in day
Yeah,
for
not at
that.
all. So the
Yeah.
other thing I was wondering, I mean, with playing that long while you were in the team and you were streaming, I mean, you're playing like 8 hours a day. You had your 24-hour streams and that sort of thing. I mean, did you suffer any sort of wear and tear on the hands and wrists and that sort of thing from it?
No, no, no. Not at all. But I do feel like I spend way too much time in front of the computer. You get to a point where you realize that you wake up, you sit down, you play games, you lie down, you go to sleep. So
Start
you got to
again.
get some, yeah, you got to get some balance. You got to get active in some way. Otherwise, you do start feeling very lethargic. You do start feeling very like meh about life.
Yes.
Uh, so they are definitely. I mean, I guess it comes down to putting so much time into it.
Yeah, well, as you have to. I just wondered on that because I mean there were a lot of last year, particularly there were a bunch of pro players who had various injuries and issues from the amount of time. So I just wondered, geez, okay, 8 hour stream, then 3 hours of practice. It's like, geez, that's that could be bad. I mean, depending on your posture and all that sort of thing. RSI is a real thing.
Yeah.
the other thing that is a real thing is your Cougar sponsorship. That's a new development, and you must be pretty pleased about that.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely amazing, eh? There's so much to say about it. Cougar Gaming, approaching me, and when we first discussed certain things, I've been saying things to my parents for a very long time about the scene and about streamers in general. Especially in this country, if looked at in the right way, if dealt with in the right
Hmm.
way, they could have so much growth and there's so much potential in this industry, but there's no one really getting into it the right way. There are certain things that, I mean, there are people that are being sponsored for streaming and so on, but there are things that like um I think could be done differently, you know. And Cougar coming to me and they, discussed ideas and so on, and I was just like, amazing, amazing, amazing. Like their visions aligned with mine in a way. Um,
Hmm.
so it was really, really awesome to have, spoken to them, and obviously being sponsored by them now is absolutely incredible. I never thought that a day would come where I would actually get a sponsor for the channel. Like that's incredible.
Yeah, I think it also adds to your visibility in a lot of ways because they've got a nice social media following, and obviously you're on board because you've got a nice social media following, and you've got people eyeballs on you, so they can see a return on investment on on their marketing budget basically. And I think in South African gaming and esports, it's really difficult for brands to find influencers and streamers and YouTubers that they can actually get a return on. Because I mean, most of these guys, I mean, I'll include myself in this as well. We don't have the viewership that justifies throwing 100,000 rand at us or something like that. So it doesn't really make sense. And in your case, you've got the subscriber base and the consistent viewership that it means there are going to be eyeballs on Cougar's brand, and I think that's why you'd be so valuable to them. And I think a lot of people forget this. The brand that sponsors you does need to get something out of it. It's not just about what
Yes,
you get. And
definitely, definitely.
are you guys working on some cool things for the future? Where there's some sort of synergy between the Pac-Man brand and the Cougar brand.
Definitely, I definitely. I mean, we're in discussion almost every day about certain ideas and possibilities. So, watch the space.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, exciting things to come then. Are there any final things you want to say, shout outs or anything like that?
Shout outs. I've never really done a shout out before. I
Well,
mean,
I mean, there's a first time for everything, right?
I would like to thank my mom, my dad. No, I'm just kidding. Um, no, I mean, let's go back to, for those people that want to stream. Um, it's a difficult journey, but if it's something you very much want to do, just push through and make it what you want to do. Don't give up on not achieving certain things in a certain period of time with streaming. Just let it go and give it your all, and hopefully things will turn out the way you want.
Yeah, well, with a ton of hard work and a lot of nobody watching days, right?
Yes, yes, indeed, indeed. It gets tedious streaming to yourself.
Maybe somebody will watch this VOD. Got to keep happy, right?
Exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah.
in in your opinion, before we call it a day on this, what really makes a good streamer? Is it the viewer engagement? Is it the consistency? Is it a combination of those things?
I think consistency is a big thing. Your viewers knowing that you're there and you're not supposed to be there, and you're just like, nah, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it today. I think consistency is a very big thing. But otherwise, I think it all depends on the viewer. What the viewer enjoys. Does he enjoy watching a pro player? Because pro players seem to be good streamers because they have thousands of viewers at a time. But do they
Hmm.
engage with their audience?
Not so
Not
much.
really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it all depends on the type of viewers you attract, and the type of person you are.
Hmm.
So
But you've
yeah.
definitely created a very friendly stream. Like the way you acknowledge people and you engage with them. I think that's a large part, just looking from the outside as to why people enjoy what you do, because you have a really good personality on stream and you're very positive, which I think in gaming is a fairly rare thing, positive people. What?
um, I mean, I have a lot of younger people coming up in the stream. In the beginning, it was kind of, I don't know if this person should be here or not, but they are there, so why not be be like a role model to them? Teach them how to play, not how to play games, but how to be in games, how to respond to people that are negative. Try and change the community to a more positive one. This is never going to happen because it's online, but you still showing that bit of positivity that could reach someone, and then it could change their way of looking at games or their way of speaking to other people online and so on. So why not try and make a change where you can, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the noble goal, man. So,
Thank you.
so I think that's us for this video. Any last thing you want to say?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. Okay, well, if you guys want to check out PaCmAn, you can follow him. His Twitter handle's there at PaCmAn10154. He's on YouTube as well. Hold up your YouTube pillow there in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Look, there we go. YouTube, guys. That's where you can find PaCmAn. Which days do you stream?
Every day except Sundays.
Wow, you are a hard worker. Jeez, you're just crazy, man.
It's definitely something I want to achieve. We can make some changes later on when things are a bit more
Scale it back when.
yeah, when things are a bit more oh my goodness, what's the word? Set.
Yeah, a bit more set and stable and all of those things. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you guys want to help PaCmAn achieve his goals, go and subscribe, follow him, see what he's doing, watch the stream. It's a really nice thing to also have open while you're doing your schoolwork or working on something else or whatever. It's good to have him open and show some support for local streamers. And I think PaCmAn is one of the guys that is worthy of your support. And also, if you want to support him, you can donate to him, I believe, and you can also buy some Cougar gear.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script. Don't worry.
Okay.
Cougar didn't send me any threatening messages saying I should say anything like that. But no, guys, I truly do believe Pac is one of the guys that we need to support. I mean, we need more guys succeeding in this. We need more eyeballs on gaming, and streaming is a large part of entering new fans into gaming and potentially esports in the future. So definitely check out what he's doing. So, Pac, I think that's us for this video. Have yourself a wonderful Sunday, and I'll probably put this up on Monday. I was going to keep it for another week and put up a different one, but I think I'll put it up sooner. So
Awesome.
We'll do that. So, guys, appreciate you guys watching this. This has been Looking Back with PaCmAn. I'm Extremes, he's PaCmAn, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheerio.
Thanks out.